Hello, everyone. In today's English episode, we'll concentrate on practicing English conversation. Engaging in English conversations is crucial for enhancing your language abilities. It can significantly boost your listening, speaking, and comprehension skills. If I were to ask you, how did you feel about your first time flying? Please leave your answer in the comments.
The podcast where we share unforgettable travel experiences. I'm Ryan, and today we have a special guest, Emma, who will be sharing her story about her first time flying. Emma, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to share my experience.
Emma, let's start by setting the scene. Where were you flying to, and why was this trip important to you?
I was flying from New York to London for a study abroad program. It was my first time leaving the country, and I was both nervous and excited.
That sounds amazing. What were your initial thoughts and feelings leading up to the trip?
I had mixed emotions. I was thrilled about the adventure ahead, but also anxious about the flight itself, since I had never been on a plane before.
How did you prepare for your first flight? Any specific steps you took to get ready?
I did a lot of research online about what to expect. I also made sure to pack all the essentials and double-checked my travel documents. I even watched a few YouTube videos on how to navigate the airport.
That's a smart move. Did you have anyone giving you tips or advice?
Yes, my friends and family were very supportive. My parents, who are frequent travelers, gave me some great tips on staying calm and what to do during the flight.
Let's talk about the airport experience. How did you feel when you first arrived at the airport?
I felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. The airport was so busy and bustling with people. I remember feeling a bit overwhelmed, but also fascinated by everything going on.
What was the check-in and security process like for you?
It went smoother than I expected. I checked in online the night before, so all I had to do was drop off my luggage. Security was a bit daunting. The staff were very helpful, and I got through without any issues.
How was the boarding process and your first moments on the plane?
Boarding was quite organized. When I got to my seat, I was a bit nervous about the takeoff. I made sure to follow the instructions from the flight attendants and tried to stay calm.
What was takeoff like for you?
It was exhilarating and a bit scary at the same time. The feeling of the plane accelerating and lifting off the ground was unlike anything I'd experienced before. Once we were in the air, I started to relax a bit.
How did you spend your time during the flight? Any memorable moments?
I spent some time reading and watching movies. One memorable moment was when we flew over the Atlantic Ocean at night. The view of the stars from the plane was absolutely breathtaking.
Did you interact with any of the other passengers or the flight attendants?
Yes, I had a friendly chat with the passenger next to me, who was also traveling to London for the first time. The flight attendants were very kind and made sure everyone was comfortable.
What was it like when the plane started to descend and you were about to land?
I felt a mix of relief and excitement. The descent was smooth, and seeing the city of London from above was an incredible sight. When we landed, I was just so happy to have made it.
What were your first impressions of London after landing?
London was amazing. The airport was much bigger than I expected, and the city itself was bustling with activity. I couldn't wait to start my adventure.
Looking back, what are your reflections on your first flight? Any advice for first-time flyers?
It was a fantastic experience that I'll never forget. My advice for first-time flyers is to stay calm, be prepared, and enjoy the journey. It's normal to feel nervous, but once you're up in the air, it's an incredible experience.
Great advice. Any final thoughts or tips you want to share?
Just embrace the adventure and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. Flying opens up so many opportunities to see the world.
That's all for today's episode of Travel Tales. Thank you so much, Emma, for sharing your first-time flying experience. We hope our listeners found it inspiring.
Thank you for having me. Thrilling topic that many of us can relate to. First job interview experience. Picture this. You've just graduated, your resume is polished, and you've landed an interview at a top company. Excitement is running high, but so are the nerves. You walk into the sleek, modern office, your mind racing with all the preparation you've done. You can feel the adrenaline coursing through your veins. The receptionist directs you to a waiting area with plush chairs and an impressive view of the city skyline. Every second feels like an hour as you wait for your name to be called. Finally, the door opens and the interviewer greets you with a warm smile, extending a firm handshake. You sit down, trying to steady your racing heart. The questions start coming, some you anticipated, and some that catch you off guard. Each response feels like a balancing act, showcasing your skills and fitting into the company culture. You share your achievements, explain your technical skills, and of course, discuss how you overcame challenges. As the interview progresses, you find your confidence growing. The conversation flows more naturally, and you begin to see a future at this company. Your nerves start to settle, and you notice the interviewer nodding along, genuinely interested in your answers. Finally, the interviewer asks if you have any questions. This is your moment to shine, to show your genuine interest and curiosity about the role and the team. You ask insightful questions about the company's vision, team dynamics, and growth opportunities. The interviewer seems impressed, giving you a glimmer of hope. The interview wraps up, and you leave the room feeling a mix of relief and anticipation. Days later, you receive the call. You've got the job. That moment is unforgettable, marking the start of a new chapter in your career. The excitement, the validation, and the sense of achievement are overwhelming. Join us as we explore more stories and tips on acing your first job interview. In this podcast episode, listeners learn about the experience of a first job interview through a detailed narrative. Podcast covers various aspects, such as preparation before the interview, handling nerves, showcasing skills and achievements, navigating unexpected questions, and demonstrating genuine interest in the role and company. Listeners also gain insights into common challenges and emotions associated with job interviews, as well as practical tips on how to approach and succeed in such situations. Additionally, the episode emphasizes the importance of resilience, adaptability, and continuous learning in professional growth. Overall, the podcast provides a relatable and informative perspective on the job interview process, aimed at helping listeners enhance their understanding and confidence in navigating their own career journeys. Lastly, our podcast covers topics that provide real-life context, improving your overall comprehension and ability to use English in everyday situations. Listening to our episodes helps you pick up natural speech patterns and pronunciation, making English more familiar. We also introduce new words and phrases related to various topics, helping you expand your vocabulary effectively. Plus, our podcasts present well-structured sentences that enhance your grasp of grammar and sentence construction in English through passive learning. Listening to different accents and clear pronunciation in our episodes can help non-native speakers sound more natural when speaking English.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on social media for more updates. Have a great day, and stay tuned for more exciting discussions on technology and innovation.